Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now today is Sunday, so you know what that means. We're going around the net with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And on the docket for today, a few interesting things. We are talking about Hilton adding a new hotel partner. We have American Express adding more family language to a forgotten card. And of course, we have the Wells Fargo autograph journey continuing, literally, with some more updates about that card. So we'll cover all of that and more. So of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now we will start lead off here with Hilton, and actually small luxury hotels of the world, which is a program we talked about maybe a few weeks ago because SLH for short, they partnered with Capital One to add about 100 or so properties that you could book via the Capital One travel portal. And at the time, the outlets that were talking about it, I think it was Frequent Miler, for example, was saying that, hey, SLH had a partnership with Hyatt, but it was weird that Capital One was getting a new partnership and then the Hyatt partnership was still there. So there was kind of speculation that, hey, that partnership, Hyatt and SLH, might be over. And now it seems it is, but it's not moving to Capital One, it's actually moving to Hilton. So if you take a look at this, this is an email. An email got sent out to folks, and thank you for those who sent this in. That coming soon, Hilton partners with small luxury hotels of the world. Now, there's not a ton of details on this, but basically in the quote coming months, then you'd be able to book some SLH properties through Hilton, which means you could use Hilton Honors points, and of course you would earn Hilton Honors points on those stays as well. Again, the article or the press release does kind of mention that, we will know more later because there are exclusive member benefits. We don't know what, so I imagine they could figure out what does your Hilton Diamond status do at these properties, like that kind of stuff. It also reads as if Hilton or SLH property owners would have to opt in to be a part of Hilton, so it's not necessarily every single property is going to be included. I also don't know if they'll be drawing a line that says, hey, the ones that are included with Capital One stay with Capital One and we get all the other ones. We don't really know. We need some additional information. So something we'll have to keep track of in the coming months. And overall, again, nice to see expansion on Hilton's side, but if you're Hyatt, man, you've really not had a good run of it. You lost the MGM thing and now you lost this, though. I didn't even know this was a thing, so maybe it was just me. But, I don't know if this one hurts as much as the MGM deal, but we'll have to see. So if you are a fan of SLH, let me know what you're hoping to see down below. Now, if you're on the road and you're traveling, in between getting to your small luxury hotel of the world, you might want to stop off at an airport lounge. And if you're a fan of Delta and flying Delta, well, that could be a little bit nicer coming later this year because Delta is upgrading and expanding their lounge offering. So if we take a look at this, we can see what they're planning. So this came from TPG, and you can see we're going to be getting premium lounges. Now, this has been talked about for a while, like in the context of, they have, like the United has like Polaris Lounge. I think it's United, but that's their upper scale business lounge, if you will. So JFK is supposed to get one as soon as June, LAX sometime in Q4 of this year, and Boston sometime in Q4 as well. So those would be your premier premium lounges. We don't have a ton of details about those yet. And then there's going to be some new / upgrades for, fan favorites, LaGuardia, Miami, I think it's Charlotte and Seattle, which I could have sworn I think it was the Centurion Club in Charlotte, or Seattle just got upgraded a while back. So again, looks like 7 overall upgrades, but again, they're still expanding the network, which is good because they just hiked all the annual fees on those cards. So it's nice to see them at least reinvesting some of the money, especially since we know how much money they make on the lounge network, so that is interesting. Again, I'll be more interested to see how they, because they of course, we've talked about it at length, they changed the requirements for regular Sky Club and the cards to get you in and the tickets you need, so it'll be interesting to see what you need for those premium lounges. Now, of course, if you are interested in Sky Club access, well, again, we covered it last week, but Delta did just refresh their whole credit card lineup, which means a new round of offers on the second channel, Run on the Bank, where we focus on credit card and bank promotional offers. Did a whole video breaking down all 6 of those offers, 3 for the personal and 3 for the business. Of course, you can find all those offers over at profitablecontent.com. And as we've talked about before, You'll still be able to get into Delta Sky Club with the Delta Reserve, at least from the Delta lineup, and of course the regular Amex Platinum, unlimited times through the rest of 2024. Then starting in 2025 is when the passes come due, or the passes take effect. So again, if you're interested in Delta, we have those offers for you. But if you're more of a kind of sort of travel but really cashback card person, well then U.S. Bank is not out with a new business card, but this is a business card that was created originally when they had the Union Bank purchase. And I think they needed to make it to help transition over some Union Bank customers, which didn't make any sense because I don't remember a Union Bank card that lined up like this card does. But anyways, you got it on screen for you because this is the card. The Altitude Power World Elite MasterCard, that's a name for you, is now available online. Originally, when it launched, you could get it in branch if you really wanted it. It's not very good. Honestly, it's a $195 annual fee. However, the intro offers 75,000 points with 10K in spend in the first 90 days. And it does earn 2 and 2.5 points on mobile wallet, up to $5,000 each quarter, and then 2x back on all other purchases. But that said, I get a lot of folks sent this to me, and I appreciate you guys sending it to me. It's not, your job to remember and keep up with the news, but this has been around. It's just now it's available online. And even though I said it is terrible, which it is objectively a terrible card, this very well could be the card I end up getting for like tax season, honestly, because again, even with the annual fee hit of $200, you still bring home $550, and the 2x back will cover the processing fee, at least for paying your taxes online, on the federal level. So I mean, again, it's for that purpose, I think it's fine. I don't think you can pay your taxes through a mobile wallet, but I'm sure someone out there has tried. You can let us know. So that might be the only use case. I think that might be my card. So we'll see when we get to the what's in your wallet for Q2, I guess. But that is kind of how I'm thinking of that card. Now, if you don't want a terrible card, but you want one that's debatable, though I hate it, maybe even more than this one, is the American Express Green Card. And the Green Card is kind of sort of the forgotten child of the Amex cards, the personal one, so much so that when Amex went through and they were updating the family language, it basically said, you have to go in a specific order to get the cards, right? You can't skip around. You couldn't go platinum and then gold. You have to go green, gold, platinum. They had skipped the Green Card, but now the Green Card also had been added the same family language, which means you have to go in a direct order if you want to maximize the offer. So again, you have it on screen for you right here, but we should be familiar. You may not be eligible to receive a welcome offer if you have or have had this card, the Green Card, the Platinum Card, or the Platinum Card from American Express, from Morgan Stanley, or of course for Charles Schwab, and of course the Gold Card or previous versions, which again lines up to what we've seen them do with all their other cards. It basically, in my opinion, it's to prevent backsliding, so you can't hop around. So you can progress up the chain, but you can't move around. So it's kind of odd that they'd forgotten to add the Green Card when they did the whole refresh, but I guess they did it. Again, I think that also speaks to the fact that the Green Card may be getting a refresh as well. So last week we talked about Amex wanting to refresh 40 or so products globally. Again, my hope was that they refresh some of their banking products, but it's probably mostly credit cards. Again, we just saw 6 get refreshed in the Delta lineup. I assume the Gold will, and I assume the Green will now as well, so why not add in the family language? I also assume it's going to be Resi credits all around and higher annual fees. That's my guess. So anyways, just be mindful of that. Again, if you the Green Card was on your radar, again, just more restrictions. But if you're so we've done a few runs of cards of not so great, but one that's shaping up to be potentially interesting is the Wells Fargo Autograph Journey card. So we've been talking about this for a while now. Again, Wells Fargo, they owe us some cards for quite some time. They owe us some transfer partners as well. So details keep leaking out about this card. So I'll put the newest on screen for you. Number one, we do have a picture of it. Now again, this comes from a source on Reddit, so again, you'd be mindful of where it's coming from, but I think it's fine to at least talk about. So to refresh you, again, I mean, we're talking about an annual fee of $95. Your multipliers, you're 3 back on entertainment, food, drink establishments, fuel, charging stations, telecom services, transport, and travel, which is basically the autograph card. The benefits, you were looking at $1 million in travel insurances, trip cancellation, delay coverage, and cell phone insurances. Now we have info on the intro offers, and you're going to have 2, depending on like how much you love Wells Fargo. So 60,000 points for $4,000 to spend within 3 months. That's your standard offer. In addition to that, if you were a Premier client, then you could get 70,000 points for the same amount of spend in the same amount of time. So 10,000 points extra just to say, hey, thank you for being a Premier client, I guess. And then, of course, we see the card art there, the autograph journey. Again, the same design. It looks a little bit, it's a picture of from a computer screen, but, the left side, moving left to right, it looks a little bit darker. Is where the autograph that I have has a little bit more purple lighter and some purple shades in there. So again, I do like the design. And of course, it says beginning in March, bankers will be able to share information about the new autograph journey card. So again, thank you to our Reddit person for providing that. I do think it's interesting. I believe that Wells Fargo is now just sitting on the transfer partners until this card comes out. Because if you look at it, yeah, travel insurances might be a little bit more beefed up on this card, but it's not $95 better than the autograph card, the base autograph card now. So I think the differentiator is probably going to be the transfer partners, because right now, if you looked at it, this card's not bad, but it would just need something different. So I imagine you'll still be able to transfer points between the two, because they're still going to give us other cards, I presume, with it earn whatever their points currency is called. So I gotta imagine that's going to be the big differentiator between the two cards, because if not, they're just too similar. But if you put this card in perspective, again, I think its biggest competitor as it stands right now would probably be the Sapphire Preferred, and the Sapphire Preferred is much weaker on the multipliers. The Sapphire Preferred's benefit, again, is that one hotel credit, which is easy to use. Transfer partners, which, again, Wells Fargo is going to add. And, of course, being supported by the Chase Trifecta and adding more cards. So, if Wells Fargo comes out with something like this, and then they allow the 2% card, the active cash, to actually transfer points to this, and then the autograph, for whatever reason, even though they're basically the same thing, but if you had points on the autograph, moving to this, and then, again, they still owe us cards. You could go even one step further, because we know they're coming out with business cards as well, the Signify line, I think it is. And again, just like you can move ink points back and forth between personal and business, they could really be shaping up to compete. And I think this card could match up nicely against the Sapphire Preferred. And again, depending on what the other options are, we could be looking at another little credit card rivalry here, which would be fun to talk about if nothing else. But of course, let me know your thoughts on Wells Fargo and what you think they're going to do. Are they going to go for the competitiveness, or are they just going to let us down in the end? I don't know. I think they'll do it, though. I feel good about this one. But anyways, guys, that has been the news for this week. So of course, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel, so we're posting content just like this every single week. Of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance, and every single day over at ProfitableContent.com. The channel's blog, we have the latest news stories. We have bank promotions, and we have credit card offers. Again, we've got all the Delta cards over there and plenty more to choose from. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you very soon this week.